Welcome to a new era. My name's Emma. So, today, people, we're going to do something a little bit different. I have interviewed my sister, one of my sisters, Frida, about her journey to be able to eat whatever she wants, whenever she wants, and still stay in her ideal body. And it's been a journey for sure, to where she started to where she has now ended up. And I think this journey have great potential great potential in helping a lot of you guys out there. She wanted to reach a bigger audience, and I figured what better place than my channel to begin that with. And also, I really think this is a beautiful message, as a lot of people are struggling with their bodies, with their weight, with their mind around their idea about what a healthy body is and what they can allow in and what they don't allow. And I also want to say, please be kind as you listen to this, because we're Swedish. We speak Swedish with each other on a daily basis. And when you're all of a sudden supposed to switch over to English, something just happens. And so we've cracked up so many times and have not gotten through the video at all. And also, I've been doing this for quite a long time now. So I'm used to the camera and the microphone, and she is not. So the fact that we sort of just got over ourselves and just said, let's just please, for the love of yourself, focus on the message. We're quite proud that we have been able to put this together. So please be kind in the comment section and just give us your love, okay? I thoroughly hope that this is going to be helpful for you guys. So please enjoy.
Okay. Welcome everyone to my first podcast. I had another one ages ago, and now I'm sort of starting over, and I'm really, really happy that my first guest is my sister, Frida, who's here today to speak about her journey from really being being a victim under food and under just ghosts in her head, a really, really poor mindset around food and her body and health overall, I would say, to today, where she's really truly in her right element, in my opinion, really in her right element, and really in a beautiful mindset, and have been for a long time when it comes to really be friends with food. And the reason I want to do this today, and that she wants to do this today, is to really get the message out to a bigger audience, as I think that there's a lot of people fighting every single day around their issues around their body, issues around their thoughts around food, and et cetera, et cetera. And we're going to get the whole story from beginning to end. And I'm really excited to have you here. A warm welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And we're just going to start by saying that we are really nervous. It's really weird to speak not in your native language with each other, that we speak English with each other when we really are Swedish. It's quite weird. It's taken us a moment or two. I also want to say, if you guys keep seeing orbs, there sometimes it's dust, and you see when it's dust, and sometimes they're truly beautiful orbs around Frida, which is really awesome. Yeah, and it's taken us a moment or two to get to this podcast, to get to this. We just start talking and then start laughing, and that was that. And then we try again, and then we try again. But so just be kind and just be gentle with the comments, and just be with us. As the focus should really be on the message rather than than us not getting it together. So with that said, a warm welcome.
Oh, thank you again.
So we just start from the beginning. If you want to speak a little bit about your background, like when did it really start to be really bad for you in terms of food, in terms of your body, in terms of your image, I guess?
Well, I would say it turned really bad when I was around 13 or 14. because that's when I started to diet. Um, but I would say that it had started way before that. It had built up over the years. So as a kid, you observe stuff, you see stuff, you hear stuff, uh, and that becomes your reality. And so I would say it was a combination of things happening when I was younger, and I have I have a few comments and events uh, that's stuck that stuck with me. um,
Sticked.
that was that was happening to me personally, uh, that I know is a big part of my journey to end up in a really bad place. But I would say that I started off as not being aware of my body in that sense at all. Um, I know that I was a little bit chubby, but I didn't have a problem with that. And my friends didn't have a problem with that, but grown-ups had a problem with that. And they had the need to tell me that I looked different compared to my friends. And yeah, so from maybe 9, I I became aware that I looked different and that it was a wrong kind of different. And then I would say that for many years, I just was aware of that part, me being different, but I don't think that I changed anything in my like the relationship to food. Um, I was just aware, I'm a bit chubbier than the other kids.
And
Uh,
can I just say, in my reference, I don't remember that at all. That you were chubby. Like I wouldn't like,
no,
not that it was like a problem or not a problem. Like that's just the, yeah, you were a bit chubbier. Like I don't see you that way at all. I don't know if it's just that we came from a mindset of just not knowing, like not knowing, but like just with makeup and all that stuff. Like we came from a place of just there's so many orbs. Any- Anyway, we just came from a place of just really not caring. It was really freeing in that way. I feel like we just were the bodies that we were. We wore the clothes that we wore. um, and we just I don't think I ever knew like what makeup was until I was like, I don't know. And so you being chubby, like that was just not a thing.
no, no, it wasn't to me either. I really thought about that, how I felt, and I had no problem with that.
No. What could be one, like, do you remember specific, like, what could be one of the comments from the grown-ups?
Yeah, so one of them is uh, one of my teachers telling it to my face, you do look a bit different compared to your classmates or your friends.
You do look a bit different.
Yeah, I don't think she meant any harm. I don't think anyone meant any harm.
Well, our grandma.
Any of the any of the comments I got, and no, I don't think so. It was just a comment. She was just observing that and telling it to my face. But it was a big deal to me. I felt really bad. Yeah, and my grandma, who always had the need to comment on the way we looked.
Yeah, and that was not coming from a,
No, she wanted us to know,
yes,
this is not
this is
very
a bit much, you know?
yeah.
It was not at all. She was the one that sort of deprived herself, and she was the one that like
Yeah,
was really skinny, coming from a really deprived mindset.
yeah.
Because skinny is not wrong, but the way that she the way that she laid out things were just really judgmental.
Yeah. Yeah, I can still sense that feeling when she grabbed my cheeks and said, "This is you have really round cheeks."
Yeah.
I felt really bad. It's like a what do you say? It's like ett övergrepp.
Yeah, an insult or
Yeah,
like a
because she
yeah.
touched my face and
Yeah.
she grabbed my fat and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
said those things.
Really
Like,
overstepping her
yeah,
boundaries.
yes. Yeah, so all of this combined is not one thing, it's not one's fault. It's like all these things combined that I took to heart, and those became a big part of my journey. And I know even though I didn't go home and feel like, oh, now I can't eat, um, I didn't make that connection at all in the beginning. I knew that I was chubby and that it was a bad thing, but I didn't change anything, I think, around the food. I do know that when I grew older, I was trying to be more like the other kids. Like if uh, in school, if they didn't like the food, I also said I don't like it either, even if I did. I was just trying to fit in more and more, I think.
Yeah.
And then when I was like 13 or 14, that's when I started to diet. And that's when that body and food connection really hit. Uh,
Mm,
and also when everything turned bad, um, like emotionally, when I started to value myself only from how good or bad I done eating. So yeah, from that point on, I think it went just straight downhill.
what is this is sort of a thing that's going on until we leave for the Americas? Is there anything
Yes.
else like in between there that you want to address?
Well, this is the thing going on for 15 years or so. But
Yeah.
I had my worst period of time between when I started to diet, like 13, 14, and until we left for the States.
Yeah.
Because it started with going on a diet and just trying to follow that diet as good as I could, and then just trying to exclude certain things. But then it quite quickly escalated into just eating less and less. I couldn't
Yeah.
eat hardly anything without feeling bad, feeling guilty, and also gaining weight.
Yeah.
I had to, the goal quickly became not to eat at all or
Yeah.
eat as little as I could. So that was the worst time when it was all about starving.
Mm,
I did feel when I started on the very first diet, I lost some weight. I just felt so good. Uh, yeah, and I had found my way to feel good. It was all
yeah.
mixed up straight away.
Yeah.
But I've always loved to eat. So it was a struggle every single day, all day,
Yeah.
every day. But it was worth it because I felt so much better, you know.
Yeah. And you and I talked about this before that you tried to throw up a little bit because you wanted to eat, but then you also didn't want to keep it in the body. But then you sort of realized that that was not really for you.
No,
It was sort of to throw up.
no, I tried it a couple of times, but no, it was not. It was easier for me to just starve myself. I
Yeah.
felt more okay doing that, and that's screwed up as well. So it's not it's not about that, but
Yeah,
I
no,
could
I'm
handle
not
that.
saying one or the other is better. I would say that starving, it takes more discipline,
Yeah,
because I try both as well, and I sort of ended up with the throwing up stuff,
yeah,
and that was just because I just could not stay away from the food. Like the
no,
starvation was just not in the cards, literally.
no,
Just yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I had that a lot. The first years, it was easier for me just to starve myself. That was like starving and eating a little bit, starving and eating a little bit. That became more binging and starving and binging and starving. Uh, but yeah, being that was one of the things that I also heard a lot, that I did so good that I could control myself. I did a good job. I
Mm.
got a lot of compliments about that. You're so strong-minded, and that's
About not eating or about just in
yeah,
general?
sticking to the
About not
plan.
eating.
But I mean, I didn't tell them that I only had an apple. But during these years, I heard that a lot. That was like boosting my way of doing it. I'm doing a good job because I'm sticking to it.
I can't stay away
And I
from
also did that to myself, of course. That was a good day. A good day meant being strong-minded, keeping
mm,
I mean, yeah, eating as little as possible. If I did that,
yeah.
I felt good. That's when it all gets screwed up because you want to feel good.
I guess it's like the ultimate illusion of control.
Yeah. And the illusion of
The
feeling good, it has
illusion.
nothing to do with that, but I
Yeah,
earned it into that.
yeah. And you wanted to reach the number 52, that which we'll come back around to, but like 52 was like a number. It wasn't even I might feel good then, I might look good then, it feels healthy. It was just a number that sort of popped
Yeah,
up.
yeah. I don't know why that came to mind. I know I had no idea what that meant. I just
Yeah.
had that goal and
And she
I was
said
gonna get there.
52 is not, this is not 52 pounds, would you say?
Oh,
'Cause that is like, what is that, 26 kilos or something?
yeah, got that.
That's 52 kilos.
Yes.
And people do the math, whatever pound that is.
Yeah,
Maybe like around 110 pounds or around 100 or 105. I don't know, something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, the strange thing was that I was just gonna get there, and the only way I knew was to starve myself there. So
Yeah.
I didn't care about the way I felt getting there or the way I looked getting there. I just that was my goal, and yeah, I went for it.
So then, weirdly enough, we get to go to to the United States of America. The thing is that we're really, really young. Like you're 16 and our mom, I was gonna go legally because I was over 18 years old. So
Yeah,
I was going legally with an agency to become an au pair, like a nanny, like a sort of nanny with cultural exchange and all of that, like for about a year. And and you said you wanted to go too, but you couldn't go because no agency would take a minor.
yeah,
And so then our mom said, sure, if you find a way to go there, then you go. And then long story short, you found a way to go there. And then
yes,
mom was like, are you serious? Like you said, you promised. Um, and like we said today, that was like with our kids, like that would just never happen. Like 16 years old and let you go to the Americas right now, it just wouldn't happen. Um,
no,
but we went. And so going there, I think at least we talked about this. Like I think that for me it was just a big release of everything. It was just sort of a no one knows you,
yeah,
culture, different people, different, just everything's different. No one has anything on your background. You can sort of just show up new. And
yeah,
that was really freeing. And it was really like allowing to just sort of explore. And I think the foods, and if we compare it, I understand the difference in the mindset is obviously everything, but just the increase in sugars in the American foods versus the Swedish food was
Yeah.
just ginormous, like in terms of, and also in terms of what we ate. Like I'd never seen that many cereal flingor categories in my life coming there, and just having that for breakfast. It was like I'm supposed to have these like just sugary, colory stuff with milk for breakfast, and you learn
Yeah.
pretty quickly to.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, this again. It was like, what now?
Yeah.
And I think we could say it was sort of like a continuation of what we did at home, but it was just in a bigger way, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, because the sugars were like in the foods.
Yeah.
We like we had sort of normal foods, and then we had candy and all of that stuff. But like in
Yeah.
Americas, it's like it was just sugar everywhere. It's just in the
Yeah.
food.
Yes.
Um, and so yeah, did you sort of start? We used to- we I know I binged a lot, but like, and we were in the same position for like about 3 months, 2 months, 3 months.
Oh, I can't remember. Not that long.
And then you
Yeah.
went away for, so I went to Virginia, the
Right.
state of Virginia, like around Washington, DC. And you then went to Boston. I guess we started to gain weight just the moment that we got there. I think I said like in the first 3 months, I think I gained as much weight as I said I was like at my peak with my first child being pregnant.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I added like, I don't know, 30 pounds,
Yeah.
15 kilos, give or take, in the first 3 months. Like really quickly that went.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not having too much, like, not being too bothered by it. I
No.
I thought about it, and no clothes fit or anything like that. But, and then you went away for 6 months, and we just talked. There was like no FaceTime, there were no, it was just phone.
No. No.
And then I remember you saying, because then we were supposed to meet somewhere. Maybe we were just coming for a visit to Reston Town Center, I
No.
remember.
Yeah. I
Um,
actually think that you came to my place, but never mind. I
yeah,
know we
I
were
did.
meeting after a long time. Yeah.
Right. We went the wrong way in certain occasions.
Yes.
We're gonna go on a little trip,
Yes.
but we went the wrong way.
Yes, we did.
Uh, anyway, different podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, so then you said, promise, promise, promise not to laugh because you felt like you gained so much weight. And I was like, yeah, yeah, how bad can it be? Like, it's not that bad.
Mm.
And you're like, you just have to promise me, like, just promise me. It's like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm not gonna laugh. Um, and then towards me came this wobbling, sort of like a penguin, not wanting to. I think we talked about that, like you not wanting your thighs to touch, just
Yeah.
a bad feeling of like just having such large thighs that you just didn't want them to touch. And so like trying to seeing someone that really had gained a lot of weight, and also gaining mostly from the waist down,
Yeah.
and trying to not touch the thighs, and like just, I don't know, vanka, I would say in Swedish.
Yeah.
Just fucking like that. There's just something about it, and the face was different. Like it was almost like, of course, I
Different
recognize
person.
you, but it's a totally different. And I remember showing my oldest son. The first time I showed him those photos,
Yeah.
he was like, "Who's that?" Like, I'm like, seriously, you don't even see who that is? No. And like, who is that? I'm like, that's Frida. What? Like,
Yeah. And
I,
you couldn't see it even when you
yeah, I
told
was like trying
no.
to, yeah, like, yeah, that is. So yeah,
Yeah, I agree because I thought about it, and I think it was a time for me as well when I just had a break from everything. Um, yeah, we knew that we were going to be away for a long time, and
Yeah.
yeah, I know that I still felt bad about being that overweight, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I also tried, I had my intentions that failed every single time, but not as much as in Sweden.
No.
Sweden, it was all day, every day.
Yeah.
In the States, it wasn't the same thing.
No.
Yeah, I took a break. I never weighed myself, so I have no idea. I think I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what my highest point was. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It was the
It sort of shows also that, like, I mean, it's not a good way to go, but like it just shows that if you putting yourself like in a different environment or just different, where there's so many new things to us, like so much new stuff to learn, and just be in this new place. And you had it really tough as well, like with your hostess family,
yeah,
like
yeah,
probably sort of in a way that was good for the getting sort of out of that weird mindset, because it really had you focus on different things and what needed to be done. You
yeah,
couldn't, there wasn't room for it, and it was sort of out of our ordinary, I guess, comfort zone, that
yeah,
you were forced to just think of other things.
yeah,
That even though that entailed a lot of gaining weight and a lot of like not not liking the body and whatever, I still felt better in my mind, like in as a just the way that I felt
yeah,
in my life, and how, like, just overall how I felt better about myself and about life gaining that much weight than being at home.
yeah. Yeah, maybe it was just the just chance to have some freedom and to,
Yeah.
yeah, not always feel guilty.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that's
how was
great.
it for you when we came back? Like, did it immediately just start with, now let's get back on track?
Uh, I think it was. I think we had this with us, as I remember it. We knew because we had heard, as soon as you arrive
Right.
to America, you're going to gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. And as soon as you get back, you're going to lose 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So that happened actually. I
Yeah.
came back and I lost some weight just
Yeah.
by going home.
Yeah. I remember that as well.
But then I can't say that I just, oh, and then it was, back to normal, whatever normal was. But for me, it just continued. It was just a struggle. And now I had this extra kilos
Yeah.
to work with. So I felt really bad about my body, and
Yeah.
I really had to eat less, and I didn't want to eat less. And then the whole inner struggle became like, yeah, huge part of my life again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think it's just ongoing until I reach the next point in my life.
It was sort of just a little breather in America, and then we came back and it was the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So is the next stop
okay.
like around when you then get pregnant for the first time?
Did it what?
The next stop, like the next, like
Oh
when you
yeah,
start to shift.
yeah. That's when I got pregnant. Um,
And then you're how old? Were you young?
29.
So you're pregnant for the first time with your first child. And by the way,
Yes.
you have 10 children,
No, I don't.
but you have four. Um,
Feels like it though. Yeah.
equals 10.
Yes.
So wait, so we're at home, so between 17, give or take, 17 till 29, it's the same struggle.
Yeah, from
That's a long
14, I would
time.
say,
Yeah,
13 or 14, more or less, and in different ways,
yeah,
but it's always there.
yeah,
And yeah, every single day. And sometimes it's about binging and starving and binging and starving, and
yeah,
sometimes it's more normal life. I know that I because I've been really overweight,
yeah,
yes, and really skinny, and I also been everything in between. So
mm,
I've looked sort of normal. So for quite some time, I think the struggle is still the same inside, but
yeah.
I look
It's not so obvious to the outside.
no,
No.
yeah. So I've done this in every kind of way.
Yeah.
So it's the same battle inside, but it appears differently.
So does it ever, like, did you ever go to a party or ever go to like a birthday party and we were gonna have like cake and stuff? Did you ever just go and enjoy it? Or is it like a constant thinking ahead of time, thinking during, thinking after?
I think it is constant, and I think it's. I think for me was when you decide you're going to do this, we're going to have the thing. We're going to start on Monday, and you give
Yeah,
yourself
the
two
big
or
Monday.
three or even 4 days
Yeah,
to go crazy.
yeah,
That feels so good for not that long,
no,
but just when you give yourself that permission, it's just like you exhale and it feels so good for a minute or two, and then you start, and then the guilt comes back and the feeling like a failure and all of that. So it's not that
yeah,
long, but it feels really good for just, yeah. But otherwise, I think it's always there with me in some way. If I enjoy, I know I'm gonna have to work really hard the next day.
yeah,
I eat something extra, or Wednesday you realize you're gonna go to a birthday party, so you can just why start now when you're gonna go to the birthday
it's
party
already screwed
on Sunday?
up. So yeah,
Like,
why not? Why not? Yeah,
so then you feel good for a minute, and then you feel bad, and you feel bad, and you feel bad, and then
yeah,
you feel worse because you ate all of that stuff. And yeah, yes.
yes. That was a question. Yeah. So then you get pregnant at 29 and then sort of everything shifts.
Yes, this is a process for sure, and I'm
Yeah.
not even aware of it when it starts. But looking back, this is what I know is the first step of this process
Yeah.
to become.
It's not a conscious now I will shift this. It's sort of a
No,
turning into it because you get pregnant.
yes.
Yeah.
So I got pregnant, and I would feel sick if I didn't eat when I was hungry.
Right.
So I just had to decide that I will do that. If I feel hungry, and I, I'm gonna eat because it wasn't worth it. I felt so bad. So that is the first thing that I actually listen to my body. I I have no idea when that happened before. That I actually, yeah, listen to a signal coming from within.
Mm.
So that's the only thing shifting when I was pregnant. I still felt too big. I was afraid of how much weight I would gain. And I tried to eat as good as possible still. I was like trying to choose the good things. Uh, but I did listen to that one thing. If I was hungry, I ate,
Yeah.
and no matter
Yeah.
the time or if I had eaten already or whatever. So that was, yeah, for maybe 6 months then, or even more, that I trained that thing to listen to actually eat when you're hungry. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
What?
the baby came.
Yeah.
And that continued because I felt the same way. If I didn't eat when I was hungry, I felt sick.
Yeah.
So I just continued.
Because you were breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and I did it as far as I could. When you have a baby, there's not that much room.
No.
You know, you just you eat when you can, and you eat whatever you can, and then you
Yeah.
follow the baby. So um, I would say that the next thing is that I didn't focus. I didn't have time to focus on food
Yeah.
or my body in that sense anymore.
Sort of a different new America.
Yeah, I had to focus on the baby, so there were,
Yeah.
yeah, not that much room left for the
Yeah.
other stuff. And also, I know that I could see myself with no judgment for the first time. I was actually free to look the way that I looked,
Yeah.
even though it was not good at all. It was, but I just had a baby, so it was
Yeah.
like I'm okay to look this way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's a big one as well, to actually not be that judgmental,
Yeah.
and even some appreciation at times, just for the body, what it's capable of, and
Yeah.
yeah, having a baby and growing a baby and having a baby, and just it's amazing. uh,
Yeah.
and then seeing it changing, um, past her coming.
Yeah.
Well, it was like, yeah, I could look at my body in a different way, and that was a big thing as well. So no less focus, and no judgment, and listening still,
Yeah.
trying to eat when I was hungry, and
Yeah.
just not so much caring about what it was. It was more the baby's sleeping, so now I'm hungry, and then I'm gonna eat something.
Yeah. And we should say what we talked about before, we should say that in Sweden, we don't have that big bouncing back thing. We might today, I might be unaware that that's a thing today, but back
Mm.
when it was not a thing that you were as quickly as possible. We're gonna sort of, we didn't even have that expression of bouncing back, like to get back into their previous body that you had before getting pregnant and after like having the baby, the quick, like as quick as possible to just get back into that previous body. It feels like it was such a thing in the Americas that it was like such a stressor. And I think that's
Yeah,
also is related to us being able to be, so for people who don't know, in Sweden we have, I don't know how many months because it's counted in months, but I think it adds up to like 1.5 years, give or take. And
yeah, yeah.
still today. And
It's
you can switch that around between you and your partner. But at that time, I think, at least for me, it was, you were just at home the entire time. So 1.5 years, if you know, so in the Americas, I remember my hostess mom, not my hostess mom, but like the host mom.
yes.
um, I can bring all the people into this conversation. She told me that she had to go back 6 weeks after having at least one of her babies. Like 6 weeks
Yeah,
was the norm to get
that's
paid,
over
and
good,
then
I
you
think.
needed to get
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
yeah,
And the body hasn't even like it hasn't even come back together in its, some people still bleed at that time. And the fact that we have 1.5 years, I think is, it's good for the child, it's good for the parent, it's good to have that choice. If you want to go back sooner, please do. Like you know your own body and like when you feel it's a good time. But that also I feel puts away the stress of having to get back into shape because there's no job to get back to or no like get out in civilization sort of
yeah,
to get back to. It was just meeting other moms that were sort of in the same position of we're just gonna have another cookie. Like that was fine. It
yeah.
was, do you feel the same?
Yeah, for sure. And like we also talked about, it's easy to say also because I lost my weight easily. So
Yes.
I never went into that stage of feeling stressful about not
No.
losing it quickly enough. So I'm not sure, but I don't think so. I don't feel like the other moms either had that going on.
No, it's just not a thing.
No,
It
not
was
as
more
I.
like an understanding. Like everyone understood where we were at. We were different places for sure. Also lost a lot of weight really quickly. I think also because you had to focus on the baby, you couldn't be so hung up on yourself anymore. Uh,
No.
but also through breastfeeding. I think breastfeeding was the magic that really sort of something really magical went on there for sure. Yeah. So anyway, so it doesn't take too long. I mean, how many years do we have between first and second child?
Two,
What are
three,
they again?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
So 3 years until I don't know why it feels like a little bit like I don't want to name names. I don't know why I should name names, but like when is Eddie coming? So do you mean like he's coming into the world 3 years later, or do you become pregnant 3 years later?
No, he comes into the world.
Yeah,
Three.
so then so it's 2 years in
Do the
between.
math.
It's 2 years. No, I have a podcast. I don't do math. Um, it's 2 years in between,
Yeah.
give or take. We talk about
Yes.
9 months. I don't know why people do because 40 weeks is almost 10 months. So it's almost, and then you breastfeed for almost a year.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting, so it's
7 months.
almost just like a year where you don't breastfeed or that you don't um get pregnant again.
Yeah.
What is that like? Is it now the awareness? Does it go back to anything, or is it just no, I'm on this train now, like I understand this now?
Yeah. I mean, this is. I've come to this conclusion before that, while still breastfeeding. Now the sun is coming. Uh, um, what was I saying?
What was I gonna say? Uh between
Oh yeah, but
year in between the breastfeeding and getting pregnant.
yes, I've come to this conclusion during, I mean, earlier, the first year. So I'm still breastfeeding,
Yeah.
and she's quite new still, my daughter. But so I just realized at some point that, oh my God, I'm eating whatever I want and I'm still losing weight.
Yeah.
This is magic.
Yeah.
Um, and then I live with that theme for a moment, I think. And then I'm like, I'm I really can eat whatever I want. And so then I have a,
Oh,
a
that's when you have that moment of just overeating the sweets.
yeah, when
All
I
right.
realize that I do eat a lot of the bad stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
still losing weight, I'm just going crazy about that. So I my diet is not only that, but it's a lot of that: chips and fika
Okay.
and
Yeah.
ice cream and candy and all day
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And I take it so far that I feel sick physically. I've been out with other mom friends with their babies, and we've had lunch and dessert and all of that. And on my way home, I'm passing like a 7-Eleven, and I decide I'm gonna have an ice cream. And I feel I don't want an ice cream, but I'm going in and I'm buying the ice cream, and all the way I'm thinking, I don't want it, I don't want it. I'm doing it anyways. and I'm getting it, and I'm taking 2 big chunks, and then I have to run to the closest bin to just try to hold it in.
Yeah.
And right then and there, I just realized that it's not about eating all of that stuff.
No.
It's about listening to your body. In any case, it's whether
Yeah.
it's food or it's candy. It's like, yeah. I don't think I think I needed that. I I needed that thing. I needed to take it that far to realize that I don't have to eat it just because I can anymore.
Yeah.
I can eat it when I want to, and when
Yeah.
I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah. Right. So it's not even also saying you can't have this. It just means there's a proportion to everything that you eat. Like there's
Yeah,
going to be an enough of whatever you eat, whether it's
yeah,
ice cream or carrots. Like the body's going to say enough of this now. Like we need variation here, and we need
yeah.
yeah,
So for me, it doesn't have to look that way, of course, for everyone. But for me, I think it was important
yeah,
to, and I think I've dealt with that for so many years, not feeling good about eating that stuff, and also having the body I feel good about.
yeah,
That was not possible before, and now it was. I just
yeah,
had to like overdo it. I
yeah,
think I had to,
yeah,
and it was really important in my process of realizing that yeah, it's not about eating all of the candy. I just
yeah,
thought it was because I hadn't been able to eat it, so I thought it was about eating only that, I
yeah,
think. And now I know it's not. I still love
yeah,
it. I eat it a lot, but I eat it only when I want it, and I stop when I'm done.
yeah, yeah. And I think it comes from a place of maybe it didn't for you it is more about understanding that you can't have all of this and you keep the body that you want, and it's like is that recognition for you? I just think also it's like a behind the scenes thing is that we feel I feel and still feel today still struggle with those thoughts that is like I sort of have to because it's that come Monday again. It's not that come Monday is not in my vocabulary anymore, but it's like this feeling of, okay, I'm not really allowed this, or this might be the last time, or I should eat this much because next day it should be different. It's
Yeah,
always sort of coming from this place of depriving or like I can't have. So
yeah.
if we just hear, there's people get like, what is that moving? It's a dog behind you that's moving,
Oh,
just so you know. Little Zoe.
yes.
Um,
Sorry.
yeah, so I think
Yeah,
that
and
is
I think
the
you've
connection
made
to
that
the thing.
connection, even though you're not even thinking about it that way. I think you've
Yeah,
made that connection so many times
yeah,
that that's the feeling of it anyways,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
when
not going to stop eat this because who knows when I can have this again.
yeah,
Like, or I'm not going to stop when I'm full because this tastes so good. And
yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to deprive myself for the next meal. So I better eat some more of this because it's so good. And not
yeah,
listening to the signal saying, you don't need any more of this now. Like you're full. Um,
yeah,
and I think it really comes from a place of like just not being able to have. I'm not allowed. And therefore I
yeah,
need to. And we see it all the time. The moment I sort of forbid my children to do anything, it's like they're going to so overdo it.
yeah,
So once that
yeah,
is like
it's
free and out in the open, like you can have this whenever you want, however you want it, like in whatever way, whatever it is that you want to choose to eat. It's like, I need to try this yet another time. Are you sure? Like, is this
yeah,
really real?
yeah. And that's when when you get there, that it is my choice.
Yeah,
I can have it whenever I want to.
yeah,
I think that's the only way to actually feel your true signals which
Yeah.
will say, yes, I want it. And they will also a lot of times say, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
And we don't even get there because we're not allowed to feel the yes.
Yeah.
So it gets all confused and mixed up with the,
Yeah. And I hear this all the time. I actually spoke with, I shouldn't say, uh, I hear this all the time, and we also spoke about it. That is like, then people say, well, if I'm allowed to eat whatever I want, then I'm just gonna eat fries for the rest of my life, or I'm gonna eat, ice cream for a week.
mm,
Still saying that it's something really, really wrong or really, really, really bad with ice cream, or like saying that we're like, what if I just, well, like you say, then maybe you will.
yeah,
Maybe just to test it out, like you will, but there will be a signal at some point telling you, like there's a conversation with the body telling you what's up. Like if you're interested in listening, there is a real conversation going on and it will tell you.
yeah. And yeah, and I think that because we've used food um, for so long now to feel, we're trying to create the feeling by eating or not eating.
Yeah.
So we're doing the same. We want to feel, I think most of us just wants to feel free to choose and free to feel good, whatever you choose.
Yeah.
So you're using food to feel that way. So when you've said no to something for so long, if you say yes to that, you feel kind of free and that feels good, but it's all
Yeah.
mixed up with the guilt and all of that stuff. So when
Yeah.
you actually do get to feel free
Yeah.
while also choosing fries 7 days in a row, I think that's the goal, just to feel
Yeah.
that freedom. And when you reach the freedom, I think, because that's your goal, is not the fries, it's the
Yeah.
feeling. So
Right.
so when you get there, there's going to be another signal. And
Yeah.
now I want some banana. And
Yeah.
there we go.
Or hamburger. Yeah.
We're trying to eat our way to the
Yeah.
feeling because it's been all mixed up.
Yeah.
Just,
And I would say I definitely have in my a long time in my life, like I definitely ate to gain the least weight.
yeah,
I didn't eat because the signal or the body told me this is what I want. And I didn't eat because I just really thoroughly enjoyed it. I ate to gain as little weight as possible, or
yeah,
to not, like, this is good, but what does it do? Oh, is that much cream in it? Or is it like, it's always some sort of judgment on what you're putting in your body.
yeah,
And it's just not going to land well if you have that thought initially as you put it in the body. I
no,
think now more than ever, like now, more than ever, there's such a judgment on what's good and what's bad. Like it's like almost like a knowing. We know this is good for you and we know this is bad for you.
yeah,
We don't.
no. And we know too much.
Yeah.
Everyone knows too much.
Yeah.
And we know different things. So how can we make sense of that?
Yeah.
If you look this way, you're supposed to eat this and not that. And if you look that way, you're supposed to eat that and not that.
Yeah.
So if you have no confidence and no, you don't trust your own guidance in that, it's only from trying to find something from the outside. You will
Yeah.
never know if you might even enjoy this diet, but you have no idea because it didn't come from you. You're trying to follow something and make it yours.
Yeah.
If you do it from inside, it's going to show you the perfect path, the perfect
Yeah.
diet for you.
Right. You're not saying, oh, when you follow your freedom, so to speak, when you follow your signals, it doesn't mean also that every diet is out the window or that every salad
Oh,
is out the window.
oh,
It might be that you
that's not.
really choose that path. Like you really
Yeah,
have one person will eat more towards vegetables and fruits, and that's it. And another person will eat more towards a lot of meats and a lot of dairy and a lot of, and
yeah,
that is that person. But we have such a one size fits all, like
yeah,
like we do for everything.
yeah.
School.
But that's big. I think it is because because we don't do it from the inside. We're trying
Yeah.
to find the perfect thing on the outside. So we're
Yeah.
still searching. So where is the perfect diet? And
Yeah.
we will never get there because we're different.
Yeah.
We like different things, and we're going to need different things.
Yes.
And life is, changing. So should everything
Yeah.
do.
So would you say that you now then you eat whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want,
Yes.
without any guilt, without any judgment, without any like second guessing yourself or second guessing what it is that you're eating?
Yes. All day, every day. Ever since I decided by the bin, I'm
Yeah.
going to listen to every signal. That's been my life.
Yeah.
And I've also, like you said, I have 4 kids, so I've done this process 3 more times,
Yeah.
not mentally the same way at all, of course, but physically it's like 15 or 20 kilos, like 30
Yeah.
or 40 pounds
Yeah.
up and then losing it. And every time finding my way, my body has found its way back to where I am.
Yeah.
So I would believe that this is my ideal body. And I believe that when we just follow our guidance,
Yeah.
you will get your own unique ideal body.
Yeah.
I
And the
have eaten
interesting
myself here every time. This is not my goal. I haven't set like, and then I should get back there. It just happens.
no.
I
Yeah.
get here and then I stop. So
Yeah. That's where the
I'm
body,
dropping, and when I'm here, I just stop.
yeah, it settles
By
in.
eating all the time, whatever
Mm,
I want, whenever I
yeah.
want.
And the interesting part is that the weight that you land on is 52.
Yeah.
So it's not taken out of context or out of like it was just a number. It was the body sort of giving you like okay, 52 is the thing, but you can get there without deprivation, starving,
Yeah.
like really ugly mindset, or
Yeah.
like not listening to yourself. We can get there, and it's not like we can get there, we'll get you there. It's like that's where you settle. That's where the body is most
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. For
But
me, and that will be different for everyone, of course.
yeah, I'm not saying 52 is the number for everyone.
No. And
And
skinny is not the ideal
no,
body for everyone, for
no,
sure.
yeah,
But you will find your own ideal body,
yeah,
whatever that means, whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever
yes,
good to you. Yeah.
yeah. So what is the biggest takeaway? What is the biggest thing that you take away from this like journey? And it's not like you're gonna die tomorrow, but like and also before you answer that, I also want to say it's been really good that you have like I know that like you gained weight and then you had one of the babies, um one of the mini 40.
Mhm.
And I remember like you walking by the mirror and saying like that's not my goal. Like that's not we're not staying here. Like this is not what I want.
Mm.
But without it was just sort of an observation because I was like, so you can feel that. Like you can look yourself in the mirror and you can say, that's not what I want. And still sort of get into your ideal body. It's like, yeah, because it's not, I would guess because it's not a judgment. It's just an observation.
Yeah. It's just a check, and
Yeah, this is not what we want. We're just going to continue. You know where you're headed.
going to continue. Yeah.
And that was that. And then I remember you said, and the thing is, the food has nothing to do with it. It's just the food, the equivalent to like, so now I'm changing my diet or now I'm eating less or I'm eating more. It still has nothing to do with where the body's going.
No.
We're so intertwined in what I put into my body is so important to the weight loss or gait wane. Gait wane.
There you go.
The gait wane. The the wane
No.
the weight gain.
Yes.
I just flipped that around again. The I thought I was gonna get there without any
Yeah, and it was
the
you.
weight gain. It has nothing to do with the weight loss or weight gain. They're separate from each other. And I think that's the toughest one to understand. They're not related.
No.
I
And
was like,
I understand
what?
that. I understand that because we've trained ourselves to believe that for so
Yeah.
many years. So,
And we had a slogan saying, I can just look at a cinnamon bun and gain weight. If I
yeah,
just look at that, I'm gonna gain weight. Oh, I'm gonna sin today.
yeah.
What is your
I
what is your
deserve this.
yeah.
This is a good, I
I've
deserve
been
this
so
today.
good for a couple of days now. I deserve this.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's,
think in America they say, what's your guilty pleasure?
yeah,
It's a guilty pleasure. It's not just a pleasure. What's your pleasure?
yeah.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yes,
So we all know if you're gonna have this, you're gonna feel guilty.
yep. I'm
So
doing it anyway.
yeah, I think that's the major thing to understand. And it doesn't mean you're not gonna get like it's about giving the body the food that it asks for that will keep it healthy, that will keep it in balance. It has nothing to do with the up and down. So it's just responding to what the body's like. This is what I need, and now I'm full. This is what I need today, and now I'm full. And or now I'm hungry, and I listen to that. Like we don't override that, like those signals.
No,
And it's not about the
it's
gain
when you
or the
start
loss.
doing that that it all gets screwed up. If you look in the mirror and you see this is not good, I need to change something.
Yeah,
So I need to change what I eat. That's
yeah.
like that's the normal.
Or the workout. The thing is that
Yeah,
we've never been into that sort of thing. So it's
no,
always been about the food. It's not been like, then I need to work out more, or then I need to change my workout, or I need to like blah, blah, blah. It
yeah,
has always been the food that needed. So I think those two are the things people think, I don't like the way I look. So I have to change something about the food or the workout.
yeah,
And to understand that those two have nothing to do with how your body looks is is the cracking of the code here. Like to just
yeah,
understand where you have ended up. And I haven't ended up there occasionally. I get it. I get it both theoretically and I get it like in the way that I've lived. And for me, it has been through the pregnancy as well. Understanding that what the like I just keep dropping these kilos and I can eat whatever I want. And and now I'm debating the menopause because I have such strong thoughts around the menopause saying, well, when you hit that's all well and good when you're young and when you can switch things around really easily and you can just think a little bit of a different thought and then you're good to go. And now
yeah,
it's like, well, but when you hit menopause, that's a game changer. Like that's a different beast. Like everyone knows. Everyone knows. And I'm trying to like, no, I don't know that. I don't have to get into that. But and yet it's like, and yet the gaining weight is there and
okay. Gain weight.
the gaining weight. Um, that's the next like to learn how like that is also just in my mind, but this is an adjusting, it's not the adjusting of the food now, it's adjusting of the mindset saying, as I enter into menopause, these things have to happen. And they don't. But
No,
it's a force. It's such a social force that it has to. Certain things
yeah,
starts to go. Well, it's the age.
yeah,
Stuff gets no, they don't have to. And yet
no.
here they are.
They're beautiful. Because
Um,
no, yeah, I believe
there
for
can
me
be
it
adjustment.
was it was different for sure. Since I've done this with my first baby or after my first baby,
Yeah,
then with my second, third, and fourth,
yeah,
of course I had that to lean back on. I knew that it's possible, but it is part of it is trusting the process for sure. If you look in
yeah.
the mirror and you see something you're not, that's not that's not what I want,
No,
and still follow your body signal, not doing stuff to change your body. I mean
yeah,
to shift, not mixing those two. That is a trust thing. I can still listen to my
Yeah.
body, and it will find its way back
Yeah.
or there. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to.
I think most people are scared of their bodies, and we're better in Sweden. Changing it to the Americas is always like, check with your doctor. The doctor knows it all. The doctor knows best. Blah blah blah. It's like taking the power back and trusting that the body has the means, has the power, has the, it's
Yeah,
like a walking pharmaceutical thing within itself. If we just allow it
yeah,
to just, like you say, just find its way, just have a trusting relationship with the body, is going to find its way there. So
yeah.
back to the, like, what is your biggest takeaway of all of this?
Yes. Well, so much, of course, because this used to be a huge part of my life,
Yeah.
in a really bad way, and now it's a huge part of my life in a really good way. So
Yeah.
so one thing is the relief, not having to struggle all day every day with food and my
Yeah.
body, to eat or not to eat, and failure and feeling bad and mistakes and all of that. To not have that at all,
Yeah.
that's like, yeah, it's complete freedom.
Yeah.
Um, it's also because I've lived in these two completely different worlds. I know it's an inside job
Yeah.
for a fact. I know it's all about the way you feel, the way you feel about the food and your body and your beliefs about it. And
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's shifted for me. So I know that for sure.
Yeah.
And I know that we have the power to create that beautiful relationship between our bodies and food. And yeah, and then of course the freedom to actually eat whatever I want. That's like, since it's so important to me, it's
Yeah.
part of my life to enjoy all the good stuff. So
Yeah.
that's like on my gratitude list almost every day still. I can eat whatever I want, and I can have a body that feels good.
Yeah.
It's natural for sure, and magical
Yeah.
at the same time. Still, every single day.
And like you say, it's like, it couldn't be that we were supposed to have all these good foods, like all these amazing foods and all these like yummy stuff that people can make, only so that you're not allowed to have it.
Yeah. Or,
It's
or
like,
you should feel guilty about it, or you
what
should
is
get
up
a
with that?
punishment.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why? I think it's a big part of many, many people's lives.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. A lot of stuff is around food. If you
Yes.
celebrate something, if you
Yeah.
get together, family and friends, if you go out to do something,
Yeah.
it's very much about what you eat and drink.
Yeah.
Of course, we should enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we should say that you enjoy it with everything. Like, it's not just about the food. It's like the wine. It's the, it's all of it. It's foods and drinks and all of it.
yeah.
Like, really enjoying it and not having like but this has to go, or this is,
No,
I'm depriving myself of, or this, it's all included.
yeah. If you don't exclude anything, there's a key as well.
Yeah.
You only choose to include whatever you want.
Yeah. As Abraham would say, this is not an exclusion-based universe. It's an inclusion-based
Yeah,
universe.
you can't even do that. That's why that's why you can look at a cinnamon bun and gain weight, because there
Yeah.
is no exclusion. Because
Yeah.
when you try not to eat it, you're
You've
actually
already
eat
eaten.
it.
Yeah.
Because you include it anyways,
Yeah.
even if you didn't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful, and thank you. So we should also say, because now it sounds like you can only find your way there if you get pregnant. And so that cuts
Yes,
out half the population.
yes. And it will take you about 15 years.
Yeah. And And all the people who have chosen not to be pregnant or have been pregnant and are 15 years into their grown-up children and still are sort of dealing with this, they don't have to get pregnant again to get to this place.
No.
So the thing is, like, you really are, like, you want to help people. People can come find you about finding their own path. You don't have to get pregnant to get there, but
No.
you work with people and finding exactly like where they're at. Or how would you say that this works if people want to work with you?
Yes, this is about, since it is an inside job, and since we've trained ourselves for so long to believe in a certain way how to deal with all of this, we sort of have to get down to the bottom of it. We
Yeah.
need to find out who you are truly. So a big part is getting to know you, the person, to find out what kind of lifestyle they have, and personality, and likes and dislikes, and yeah, your beliefs, the way you eat, why you eat the way you eat, sort of back to basics, and then building up that trust again with that inner voice, and
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of form a new and personal path for every person. It will be different every time, and it's about yeah, carving out that path and using different tools like law of attraction, and how to work with it when you want to change a belief, and
Yeah.
feel good stuff. Yeah.
So, whoever wants to work with you, we're just going to put all the information how to get in contact with you down in the description box. So people who are interested can just go there and they will get in contact with you.
Yes.
Is there any final thoughts or anything you want to add that you feel like we've left out?
No.
Well, beautiful.
Yes,
Thank you
beautiful.
so much. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for being sort of my new first guest again. And I'm excited for you to teach me how to get over my menopause beliefs.
Yes, me too.
Yep. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We'll just see each other next time. Take care, everyone.